I say if I had one trade and only one to make, just one, I'd buy gold because of the central bank's massive acquisition and its reclassification to a high liquid asset, in essence, tier one. But I also say that I believe silver is the trade of a generation.
Welcome to a profound discussion with Andy Schectman. If there were only one trade to make, Andy would bet on gold, given the central bank's massive acquisitions and its reclassification as a high liquid asset, essentially tier one. But there's more to the story. Andy believes that silver is the trade of a generation, the most undervalued asset on the planet. In this video, we explore why silver could be the ultimate investment. While Andy's go-to would be gold, he acknowledges the compelling case for silver, especially with central banks stockpiling it like never before. Join us as we delve into the precious metals market, uncovering the potential for a new era of honesty, transparency, and stability in the global financial system, all while highlighting the exceptional opportunity that silver presents. Let's listen to Andy Schectman's interview again.
I think it's the first time in 45 years that we've seen that the treasury market has greater volatility than the price of gold. And I think it's beginning to creep into people's minds that, maybe treasury debt isn't the best form of savings at this stage of the game. And why the central banks accumulating as much as they have certainly doesn't hurt the gold price whatsoever. So, yeah, I think this is a shift where we will see people question the wisdom of holding debt issued by the largest debtor in the world as rates continue to rise. I think that's what's happening. So, yeah, I think it certainly put a little bit of wind behind the sails of gold, only making silver look that much more attractive as far as I'm concerned. For me, it's as if the retail gold market in terms of prices and availability sees nothing of trouble on the horizon. It's as if the retail gold market in terms of prices and availability is acting like this is 2019, even before the thought of a pandemic hit anyone's mind. So no, I mean, the premiums are great. The availability is great, which makes it even more hard for people, I think, to rationalize what guys like Ted Butler are saying. This massive shortage of industrial sized gold and silver bars. It has not worked its way down into the retail market yet, but I will be consistent every time I'm on your show. And I will say there will be an event, and I really do believe it will be a bank event and a bail-in, which is law. It's not something hyperbole. It's not makeup. It is law. The fact that Silicon and Signature were bailed out was in violation of the Dodd-Frank Act. And the next time it happens and the realization, people realize, oh my gosh, they've lost everything in a bail-in, I think that all goes upside down very quickly, even in the midst of two wars and all the chaos we see around us. Gold and silver should be flying off the shelves. Business is strong, but it hasn't translated yet. Not the way that we've seen certainly over the last several years. And to me, it's a mystery, but I guess it's a subsidy, and people who are looking to add to their holdings should be glad, because it makes no sense to me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. They're pre-pandemic levels. The only coins that are not really are the Eagles, both gold and silver. They're still elevated. But I think it's worth it in many respects to pay that added premium for the Eagles, as these states around America are pushing back and reclassifying gold as currency for all debts, public and private, and silver, legal tender coins. There's something to be said for the American issue coins. And if we see any type of event, which I have a hard time believing we won't, having the American coins the last 4 years, if it's shown us anything, it's that's what the public wants. And the mint has really not done a good job at doling out to this little group of hard asset people who have their eyes open. The majority of the public, when and if they realize that this is a place they need to be, I would think you would see a repeat very quickly of what we've seen for the last several years, at least as it pertains to the American-made coins, and that would be massively spiked premiums and questionable at best availability. Again, surprising. In fact, I talked to someone the other day and, oh, I missed it. Geez, it's gone up. Maybe I should wait for a pullback. And that's still very much ingrained in the psyche of the person who's looking to protect themselves. And maybe there's different levels of sophistication and of experience in this market, which would have proven over the last several years, as much as I hate to admit it, to be a good strategy. This market is the poster child for market volatility, even counterintuitive volatility. One of the things that I found interesting in Ted Butler's last article was his premise, his idea. One of the things that he talks about is, and it makes the gold and silver manipulation so unusual, is the fact that the commercial banks, the biggest money in the world, or the biggest money banks in the world, in order for them to manipulate the market, they are famous for sucking in the speculators, and as the price rises, they jump in and short a rising price. That the commercial banks will end up on the long side of the trade, and the managed money who is short will witness a religious experience when you realize, like in silver, last time I looked last week, there was nearly 1,700% more contracts than there were bars behind it. In other words, 17 contracts, one bar, in essence, or 5 bars for each contract. The point of it is that it's rehypothecated in the registered category 17 times nearly. So what does that mean? If these entities stand for delivery and there's no silver to be found. So yes, I think one of these days the price just goes higher. But right now, that psychological barrier of 2000, yeah, I notice it. People notice it, but not the way that you would think they would. I don't think it's made a substantive impact yet. And maybe part of the reason is the lagging of silver. I say, if I had one trade and only one to make, just one, I'd buy gold because of the central bank's massive acquisition and its reclassification to a high liquid asset, in essence, tier 1. But I also say that I believe silver is the trade of a generation, that silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet, that ultimately I don't think you can find a better investment, period, than silver. And when I talk about only if I had one trade to make, it would be gold, I would not be upset if it were silver. I just think there is a lot to be said for the fact that the central banks are buying more than at any time in history and repatriating it and reclassifying it and using it, I believe, in an ultimate drive to find some sort of honesty and transparency and stability to a new system. With that being said, there has never been, in my opinion, in my career anyway, a better time to own silver.
Thank you for being a part of this enlightening discussion with Andy Schectman. We hope you've gained valuable insights into the world of precious metals and investment strategies. If you found this video as compelling as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more thought-provoking discussions and expert insights. As you continue your journey in the world of investments, remember the wisdom shared today, where gold and silver hold a special place in securing your financial future. Until our next conversation, take care, invest wisely, and may your wealth grow with clarity and purpose.